Hello folks, welcome to the lease deals of the month for April 2024. We've got all the petrol, diesel, hybrid stuff coming up at the start of the video, and then in the second half of the video we've got the electric stuff. I have to say the deals are much better on EVs at the moment than they are on the rest of the stuff, but we've still got some really good deals in the first part of the video, including some big SUVs which don't always typically see in the lease deals of the month, so check those out. Something to point out in this one as well is they're not all 3-year deals. In some of these cases there's much better value to do a 2-year. I'll try and remember to point those out as we go along, but I'm an old man, I might forget, so just check it out for yourself. And when we get to the EV stuff, a lot of it's in stock, so that means you need to act quickly, alright, so just bear that in mind. Don't forget to use that link to lease logo that's in the video description and pinned as the top comment. And let's crack straight on. Okay, so we're starting things off with this little Suzuki Vitara. It's the 1.4 booster jet 48 volt hybrid SZT. So this is a self-charging hybrid. Some keyboard warriors are going to jump onto this and say every hybrid car's self-charging. Yes, we know. What I mean is you don't need to plug it into anything. You just put petrol in it and drive it. 248 quid a month on this one and 945 up front. This is on obviously 10,000 miles a year, 3-year deal, 3 months up front. 9.5 seconds to 62, 129 brake horsepower and 362 litres of boot space. Only insurance group 22, which is not too bad. Great little SUV, the Vitara, often a little bit of an overlooked and unsung hero. Plenty for your money with that little car. Price history wise, it's okay. Average price on it's been 284. The highest price in the last 12 months has been 334. And this is £1 more than it was at its lowest point this year. So really good value for money. And there's a little bit of a theme with these, certainly with the petrol cars, is value for money, because a lot of these cars are delivering you quite a lot for not an extreme amount of money. Next one, look at this, the Qashqai, 251 quid a month with £1,000 up front. I mean, I just think that's a fantastic deal. It just reeks of value. There's 10.2 seconds to 62, 44 mpg, insurance group 12, 504 litres of boot space. Price history on it, the average has only been 294. At its peak, 337. The lowest price we've seen one of these was 224 for what must have been a minute. 251 quid is a fantastic price for a car that just does everything. And you possibly don't want one of these when it's 10 years old, because they don't have the best reputation for reliability. You want one when it's brand new, when it's got full manufacturer's warranty. And seriously, you can't go far wrong with that deal. I think that's amazing value. Just to look at that value for a second, this is a Corsa. It's the 1.2 turbo 130 Ultimate. So it's a very nice Corsa, but this costs you more than a Qashqai, 7 quid a month more. £1,076 is the upfront payment. This one again a 3-year deal. And look at the price history on this. 331 has been the average, currently 258, and it peaked this time last year at 545 quid a month. I mean, that's absolutely bananas. Don't forget, this is the top spec model, however. Insurance group 23, 130 horsepower, 8.7 seconds to 62, 49 mpg, 309 litres of boot space. So it's just over £1,000 up front and 258 a month. Another Suzuki is the S-Cross 1.4 booster jet, 264 quid a month. 53 mpg. It's incredibly frugal. I have had one of these for a week on test before. Incredibly frugal car. 430 litres of boot space. 9.5 seconds to 62. Insurance group 22. It's one of those cars a lot of people just forget about. And you don't see millions of them on the road. They do blend in a little bit, but it offers amazing value. The average price on it's only been 270 quid a month. At its peak, 300. At 264, it still looks like a great bit of value. Next, we've got another Vauxhall. It's the Astra 1.2 Turbo 130 GS. I said a while ago, I think it's the best looking Vauxhall they've released in donkey's years, and I still stand by that today. 9.7 seconds to 62, 51 mpg, 130 horsepower, insurance group 19, and 422 litres of boot space. The upfront on that one's 1,100 quid, 267 a month. 405 a month has been the average on this particular one. This is the lowest price we've ever seen it. This time last year it was 415, and at its peak in the last 12 months it's been 501. so almost double the current price. It's a good car that's got a lot going for it. Nice thing to drive, good looking thing, as I said, and it's not going to cost you the earth. And if you like that but you want a bit more space, there's also the Sports Tourer version. It's quite a lot more though, 315 a month, 1139 up front. The VW T-Roc is next. This one's the 1 litre TSI style edition. Insurance Group 15, 445 litres of boot space, 0 to 62 in 10.8 and 43.5 mpg. Price history on this one, 326 has been the average. At its peak, 393. Its lowest point was actually 40p a month less than this. So if you're looking at one today, be safe in the knowledge that you could have only saved yourself 50p if you jumped on it at the exact right moment. Nice stylish little car. This one's the in R-Line trim that they're showing you here, so I don't think you get the black roof. But yeah, nice car, practical, nice amount of boot space, not going to cost you the earth to insure or to run for that matter. Next, the Vauxhall Grand Am 1.2 Turbo Ultimate, again right up there in terms of the spec level, 10.3 seconds to 62, Insurance Group 17, 514 litres of boot space. This is really a rival to the Qashqai and cars of that ilk. Price history wise, the average has been £467 a month. At its peak, £670 a month. I can't imagine they sold too many at 670 quid a month, folks. At its lowest point, 283. We're currently at 300 quid with 1200 up front. Don't forget to use that link to Lease Loco, by the way. It's in the video description and pinned as a top comment. I can't do this unless you do that. Next is the Toyota CHR, the 1.8 hybrid design. Now, if you've seen my recent review of the CHR, you'll see that I loved it. And you'll also see that the one I'm in is a straight two-tone, so it's got a black roof and a white body. I think that's what you get on the design trim. This awful looking paint here, where you get sort of the back third of the car in black, is only on GR Sport, I believe. But do your own research into that. But I think you would get the paint colour and then a black roof on a design. Brilliant thing to drive. I loved it. I absolutely loved that car. I really did. So go and watch that review if you haven't already. Insurance Group 20, 140 brake horsepower, 447 litres of boot space, 58.9 mpg. And I got that in the real world. On the day the car went back, it had averaged 59.1 when I gave it back. So I actually beat the WLTP in it. 10.2 seconds to 62. It's only been out 5 minutes, and when it first came out, it was a ridiculous price for a couple of weeks, and then it went down to £337.90 basically, and that's pretty much where we've been ever since. It did drop to £329 at one point, but it's going to be around about this price. Toyota probably are not going to need to discount this. I'd imagine it will do very, very well. I think if you were to buy one of these, something around the 35 grand mark sounds familiar. So not bad value at 337 a month and 1300 up front. Next, we've got our old friend, the Cupra Ateca. This one's the 1.5 litre TSI V2 DSG automatic, £364 a month and 1400 up front. Brilliant car, 510 litres of boot space, Insurance Group 18, 150 horsepower, 42 mpg and 9.3 seconds to 62. You can cram everything you want into this. You can get the kids in there, the dog in there, and all your luggage. It's just an easy car to live with. 402 quid a month has been the average on it. At its peak, 492. Currently 363 a month with 1400 up front. The Cupra Ateca is a lovely piece of kit. If you haven't driven one before, by all means go and have yourself a test drive. And yes, it's a Seat Ateca with a Cupra badge on it, but that Cupra badge does give it a little bit more of a modern look and a little bit more va-va-voom, as Thierry Henry might say. So Cupra Ateca, 363 a month, nearly 1400 quid up front. By the way, that Ateca is a 2-year deal, so just bear that in mind. Next one's a Nissan X-Trail, £378 a month with 1434 up front. This one is the 204 Centre Premium Xtronic Automatic, 8 seconds to 62, 48.7 mpg, 204 brake horsepower, 575 litres of boot space. It is quite cavernous. And Insurance Group 24. Again, I had one of these in. We did a long family trip in that with everyone in. Maybe even the dog, I can't remember. But a lovely thing, really nice to drive. And yeah, nice to do a long road trip in. £409 a month has been the average. 378 is the price right now. At its peak, it's been 446. Did have a little dip down in February where it went to 326, but as you can see, that really didn't last long. It was 388 the week before and 394 the week after. Currently 378 with 1432 up front. And if big family SUVs are your thing, we've got a few still coming up before we get to the electric stuff. DS7 Crossback 1.5 Blue HDI diesel, Rivoli E88 automatic, 388 quid a month, 1363 up front. 10.7 seconds to 62, 46.1 mpg, insurance group 26 and 555 litres of boot space. And this is the DS7 if you're unfamiliar with it. Sort of the posh brand of Citroen. Quite a cool looking interior, as you can see. I haven't driven one of these yet, but I hope to at some stage. But certainly just big family SUV, say no more really. 388 a month, 1363 up front is what we said on that one. 473 has been the average. At its peak 667, at its lowest point 337. So at its peak this one was £667 a month. Average on it's been 473 a month. It's currently 388 a month. I'm not going to dwell on this one, but the Suzuki A-Cross deals are still around, unbelievably. I can't believe how long this deal has been available. This is a RAV4 for under 500 quid a month. It's a hell of a lot of car for the money. 462 a month at the moment, with 1400 up front. But it's a plug-in hybrid with performance and practicality for under 500 quid a month. Onto the Volvo XC60. This one's the B5P Plus Dark all-wheel drive Geartronic automatic. So this one is the petrol, 6.9 seconds to 62, 31.7 mpg, 250 brake horsepower, insurance group 36, and 483 litres of boot space. If we look at the price history, 606 has been the average over the last 12 months. Currently 529, remember. At its peak, £749. And that peak was when? In September. Even in Jan, it was 566 a month, so you're saving a good 35 quid a month. 1,829 is the upfront payment, followed by 35 months at £529 a month. We've got a Lexus. It's the NX 450h Plus eCVT Premium Pack. This is a petrol plug-in hybrid. 6.3 seconds to 62, 306 brake horsepower, insurance group 38, and 525 litres of boot space. Now, the Lexus NX is a wonderful car. It's very luxurious, extremely high quality interior, 525 litres of boot space, insurance group 38, 306 brake horsepower, 313 mpg because it's a plug-in hybrid, 6.3 seconds to 62. So there you go. So a really nice looking car for an SUV. Like, it really is nice looking. This looks like it's at Millbrook on the Alpine course. I know this because I almost had quite a major incident in a VW Amarok there on a test day. Less said about that, the better, I suppose. 561 a month with 1,955 up front. Finally, for the internal combustion engine vehicles, albeit another plug-in hybrid, we've got the Range Rover Velar. This one's the P400e Dynamic HSE, 820 quid a month. With 2,765 up front. Now, you don't often see much fluctuation on the price of these. Average on it's been 900 a month, 973 at its peak, currently 821. Now, folks, I'm delighted to say that today's video is being sponsored by ALA Insurance. ALA can help you out with all kinds of things that you might be interested in if you are thinking of leasing a car. Things like scratch and dent insurance, alloy wheel and tyre insurance, even things like car key cover. And of course, if you are one of those people that thinks, well, the deals are not really suiting me at the moment, you decide to extend your current lease. It may be that your manufacturer's warranty is just finished and you've got a car for a year with no warranty. ALA can also help you out with that. And the great news for people watching this video is that there's a link in the video description and a QR code popping up on screen for you that you can use. And if you use the code JIM10 at checkout, you'll get 10% off the price of your scratch and dent insurance, your alloy wheel and tyre insurance, any warranty. And, 10% is well worth having, folks. So use the code JIM10. use that link that's in the video description or scan the QR code that's on your screen now, and it helps support the channel. Massive thanks to ALA for supporting this video. It's a family business. They've got a fantastic reputation and a brilliant customer service team, and I really could not be happier to have them on board as a sponsor. Okay, so we're on to the electric cars, and this is where I feel like there are some really fantastic deals at the moment, as there have been in recent months. There really are some corking deals available on EVs right now. We're starting off with the Peugeot E208 100 kilowatt Allure Premium 50 kilowatt hour automatic, £267 a month and just under £1,100 up front. 311 litres of boot space, insurance group 27, 217 miles of range and a 0 to 62 time of 8.1 seconds. Price history on it, 412 has been the average on that car. At its peak, which you can easily see here in January, it was 610 quid a month. Back here in June, it was £592 a month. At its lowest point, it was only £1 less than it is right now, and right now it's £267 a month, with just under 1,100 up front. That is in stock as well, and I would expect this to go quickly. You see a lot of them on the road. They're popular cars, they're great looking cars, and at that price I wouldn't expect it to hang around. Kona Electric, right, this is the thinking man's EV because it just gives you so much for the money. This is in advanced trim with the comfort pack, 364 a month with 1,400 up front, 319 miles of range, 218 brake horsepower, insurance group 31, 466 litres of boot space. The average on it's been £516 a month. At this time in July, when it was first released, basically 680 quid a month. Currently 364 with 1,400 up front. And that old cliche, a lot of car for the money, has never been truer, really, because there really are some fairly impressive numbers on that for that kind of cash. 0-62, by the way, is 7.8 seconds, and that one is a 3-year deal. And again, it's in stock, and again, that means it will move. Subaru Solterra, these deals have been around for a good while now, haven't they? 289 miles of range, 218 brake horsepower, 452 litres of boot space, 408 a month with 1,526 up front. I remember this was absolute breaking news in sort of September, October time when it suddenly dropped like a stone in price. But now it's sort of becoming the norm. 645 has been the average over the last 12 months. It's currently 408. This time last year, it was £829 a month. Next, we've got the VW ID5, 150 kilowatt style Pro Performance, £414 a month with 1,500 up front. The new Ford Explorer is basically this car with a different lid on it, interestingly enough, all built on the same platform now, of course, with VW and Ford basically sharing that platform. 327 miles of range, 204 brake horsepower, 31 is the insurance group, and 549 litres of boot space. 0-62 in 8.5 seconds. The average price on it's been £536 a month. At its peak, £636 a month. Currently 414, which is only a fiver more than the lowest price we've ever seen it. Again, it's a 3-year deal. Again, it's in stock. So you know what I'm going to say. It's not going to hang around. So get on it. Use that link to Lease Loco, folks. The deals on the Mustang Mach-E just seem to keep getting a bit better, really. This one's in premium trim, rear-wheel drive, automatic, £477 a month, 372 miles of range, 294 brake horsepower, insurance group 41, 402 litres of boot space, 1,700 up front and 477 a month. Average on it's been 772 a month. That's the average. At its peak, over £1,000, nearly 1,100 quid actually. And that was in December. That was Christmas Day. It was £1,068 a month. It's less than half that. It's 477, and the upfront is 1,733. Volkswagen ID Buzz, 150 kilowatt Life Pro, 258 miles of range, insurance group 31, 1,121 litres of boot space, 204 brake horsepower, 0-62 in 10.2. Look at this one, 727 has been the average price on it. And to be fair, if we'd have looked at this around early November time, you'd have been really happy to get one of these at 727 quid a month, because prior to that, you weren't far off £1,000. You were certainly well north of 800 quid. As you can see there, the peak on it was £955 a month. Currently 484 with 1,723 up front. That is a 2-year deal though, so bear that in mind. If you go up to 3 years, it's going to be a bit more expensive, and it's in stock again. So don't expect the deal to hang around. We've got another in-stock deal on the Polestar 2. It's the long-range single motor, 405 litres of boot space, 406 miles of range, 299 brake horsepower, insurance group 41, and 6.1 seconds to 62. Polestar 2 is still one of my favourite electric cars, certainly easily in the top 5. It's a brilliant thing, great car to drive. Really feels nice and plush inside, feels like a bit of a cockpit, like it really wraps around you. And with 406 miles of range and a 0 to 62 of around about 6 seconds, what's not to like? 508 quid a month with 1,800 up front, and the average on that one's been 675 a month. At its peak, 761. Great car. Have a look. Lexus RZ is next. It's the 450e 230 kilowatt direct auto premium plus, 1,917 up front and 556 a month. And by the way, if you wanted to go for a Takumi, which is the top spec in Lexus, it's an extra 65 quid a month over what we're looking at here. The 0 to 62 on that one's 5.3 seconds. 847 has been the average, 847 quid. At its peak, 990. Currently 556. That's how much this has come down in a fairly short period of time. You only have to go back to August to see that car at £990 a month. Currently 440 quid a month less than that at 556. So if you're a Lexus fan and it's time for you to move into an EV, maybe start looking at this one. Now, this is a fantastic deal. We've seen a few deals on these over the last 12 months. But they don't hang around very long. This one's in stock. Again, it's not going to hang around very long. It is a 2-year deal with 3 months up front. GV70 Sport automatic all-wheel drive innovation pack, 670 quid a month with 2,300 up front. We'll come back to the numbers in a sec, but the average price on this car has been 1,161 a month, and that's despite the fact that it spent a good few weeks in December at around about £700 a month. And look at this, the peak price on it over the last 12 months has been 1,463 a month, nearly 1,500 quid a month, and it's currently 670 quid a month. The quality of these cars is exceptional. Obviously, it's built by a Hyundai Group, which means it's got that incredible 800 volt charging architecture. They're just lovely things. The interior is superb and it floats along the road. I absolutely love this car. Now, as you may know, I've got a Tesla Model Y, and people often say to me, well, if you were getting another car today, would you still get a Tesla Model Y? And I often say, well, I don't know, but it'd certainly be a Tesla. I might actually get the Model 3 now because I love that, but family practicality probably still means a Model Y. But if money were no object, I'd get this. Not one like this, not another Genesis. I'd get the Genesis GV70 electric because it's just brilliant. And a lease is the way to go on that car because it's going to depreciate massively, I've got no doubt, because in the UK we don't like unfamiliar badges on our cars. But what a piece of kit. 670 quid a month. And obviously we've just seen that not too long ago that was 1,500 a month. Seriously, get on that quickly. There won't be a lot of them. Usually when they do these stock deals on a Genesis, they put like 5 cars out or something. So jump on it if you're interested. And I mean jump on it if you're interested. Now, I always talk about how good these lease deals are and how important it is for you to get on things quickly when you see a great price. And I just want to show you why. We were looking at the Tesla Model Y not too long ago at 500 quid a month. Currently, it's £802 a month. All right, and this is how quickly things change. And obviously in these videos, I just look at things that have dropped, but there are also always just as many cases, if not more, where suddenly the good deal is no longer there and the price has gone through the roof. So keep that in mind. When you see these good deals, particularly when they're stock deals, you do need to act quickly if you want to get yourself the best price. Thanks again to ALA for sponsoring this video. Please check out their link in the video description. And don't forget that promo code JIM10 will save you 10% on a whole number of products on their site. And please use the link to Lease Loco. I cannot do this unless you use it. Please use it. It makes a massive difference and it helps me to keep this channel going. Without people using that link, I would not still be here doing this. So thank you very much for all of you that do. And I just want to thank everyone that watches all the videos through to the end, gives a thumbs up, leaves comments. It really is appreciated. I see the same names coming up in the comments, and that really sort of spurs me on to make more and more videos. So thanks ever so much. I'll catch you on the next one.